Hey, well, it's been about a month since my last video. When I did the last video, I was recovering from a lumpectomy where they had removed the cancerous mass and several lymph nodes. And then once they got that tested, I discovered, or I found out rather, that there was more present than they realized. And it wasn't cancer, but it was precancerous cells, and quite a bit of it that remained, so that concerned them, and they recommended that I have a mastectomy. And so here I am in recovery from the mastectomy, which I had done about 2 weeks ago. I gotta say that physically recovering from the mastectomy is a bit easier than the lumpectomy. I don't seem to feel as much pain, and then of course preparing for it was a lot easier, because with the lumpectomy they had to mark the area where they were going to remove the mass. And of course, when they said mark, I'm thinking they were going to do that with markers, but they don't use markers. They use metal wires which they insert into the area, and it's just a very unpleasant ordeal which they really don't prepare you for. But I did get through that, and I'm certainly getting through the mastectomy. Emotionally, however, I think dealing with the mastectomy is quite a bit more difficult, because now I'm faced with the fact that a part of me is gone. And while I can get reconstruction, it's not an option at this point in time. I still have to get through my 6 weeks of radiation, which I will be starting in about another week. And then I still have to wait probably about 6 months until they will even consider reconstruction. So I have to deal with trying to appear normal to the outside world, and it's very difficult emotionally. So, I'm working on that, but the idea is still fairly new. But for the most part, I am doing well. I'm up, I'm moving around, I'm exercising, trying to lose this extra poundage that I gained during chemo, thanks to those steroids. So far, I've lost 2 or 3 pounds, but I really only just started this week, Monday, and it's now Friday. So I think eating better and watching my portions, and then doing actually quite a bit of exercise, I've lost 3 pounds, and that's very good for such short a time. So hopefully by the time I go back to work, I'll be looking actually a little bit better than my pre-cancer self. So I'm working on that and actually looking forward to improved results. I do think I want to go back to work. I'm really grappling with that. I know that eventually I will go back, but it's kind of battling, the financial aspect of me being away from work for so long, and then the emotional aspect of me being away from work for so long, because I will say being at work really helped me get through the chemo, physically and emotionally, because physically, having to get up and go to work, I kind of would force myself to get up and move around and get going, even when some days I really didn't feel like it. Emotionally, being at work and being around my coworkers, which I have to admit I do really love my coworkers, great bunch of people, it kept my mind off of the cancer, honestly. I was having to think about other things, so by the time I left work and got home, I was usually pretty tired and really didn't have the energy to think about having cancer. So I think now, me being at home for so long, I'm having to find other things to do to keep my mind off of what I'm going through. You know, having to deal with losing a part of my body, and you know, recovering from the surgeries and things like that. But you know, it's something that I'm really talking to my husband about, and you know, hoping he'll help me in making the right decision. Uh, Really, that's where I am right now. Looking forward to starting radiation here in about another week, and hoping to get through that really quickly so that I can really call this journey over, because it has been a journey. It's been 9 months since I was diagnosed, and they did tell me the next 9 months to a year would be very difficult, and it really has been, but I've gotten through it. Well, I'm getting through it, and I feel like I'm in good health. Usually I'm in good spirits. I still have a breakdown every now and then, but I think I'm doing really well, and you know, I'm still able to do things with the family, and you know, that just really makes me feel really great. Before I go, I do want to take the time to thank those that helped me get through my last surgery in particular. Um, my insurance, again, was non-cooperative, and so I did have to pay over $700 to have the mastectomy, and that was only 50% of what the surgery cost, so I still have another 700 plus to go. But I do want to thank my co-workers for taking up a donation. You really have no idea how much that helped. And then with the help of my parents, my mom, her job actually took up a donation as well. My sister and her husband donated some money to me, and one of my sister's longtime friends actually donated some money to me through Candles for Cancer, and a couple of other people. And so I do want to thank all of you, because your donations helped me meet and actually exceed the amount that I needed to just have the surgery, and it also has been helping me with post-surgical needs, such as prescriptions and things to help me appear more normal. So thank you so much for that, and for your kind words. And really, I really have to put a heartfelt thank you out there to my parents and my sister for coming down to help me and my family while I was going through this. My sister helped me with the kids, getting them out the door and to school so that my husband could be with me as much as necessary. Her and my parents coming back to the house to make sure that someone was here to meet my kids and they were taken care of again, so my husband could spend some time with me before I would go to sleep again, while I was still in the hospital. Just making sure that we had everything we needed, and that type of help is priceless. And really, I guess that's how you know that people really do love you and really do care for you. And so, thank you so much. Until next time.